Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us, and we thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve the Cherokee people. We ask for your guidance, and we just pray that you will help us to make the right decisions. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you.
Curtis Snell,
Here.
Frankie Hargis,
Present.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Harley Buzzard. Joe Bird. Julia Coates.
Here.
Charlie Fishenhawk. Janelle Fulbright. Don Garvin. Ronnie Gloria Jordan. Lee Keener. Dick Lay.
Here.
Denise Taylor.
Here.
David Thornton. Victoria Vasquez.
Ani.
David Walking Stick. Carol Cowan Lawrence.
Ohani.
Okay, moving down, need approval of the October 13th meetings.
So moved.
Second.
One and a two. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on down to reports. Management Resources, Bruce Davis.
He's here.
Bruce, you gonna play in this game or not?
He's feeding the buffalo.
He's in there playing another game right now.
He's in contempt.
Well, we'll move on down. Well, he's coming. Come on, Bruce. Come on, Bruce. We know you old. Mr. Bruce Davis.
Has entered the building.
We need you.
Management Resources, please be seated.
When the speaker calls, you answer.
Well, bring the speaker with you.
Apologize because I had him cornered.
My blood pressure's up, can't you tell?
Mine's down, so who do you think won?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Davis, you're up.
Hey, how's everybody? Yeah. I know you have our report, so if you have any questions, we'll try to answer it, and I know that we're trying to hurry, so.
Any questions? Yes, Kara.
Fact or fiction was a
Fact.
buffalo shot?
No, that was a fiction, yes, yes, ma'am.
Very good.
We had the veterinarian out to check it, everything was good.
So let me ask it a different way. Was a buffalo shot at then?
I don't think so, no. The veterinarian didn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Because that was definitely what the word on the street.
I know,
Okay.
we got it too.
And I think on page 8, you need to eliminate the Claremore Federal Building
Okay,
from the report.
okay. We'll take care of it,
So you might review the report in general.
okay?
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Garvin?
Tonight, 10 o'clock, Channel 6.
Yes, sir,
I'll tell all about
it will.
Buffalo.
Greg Day will be giving us a Buffalo report. We're excited.
How they doing?
Good. They've settled in. They're eating a lot of hay. GV is, they're moving hay, moved some hay today. So, yeah,
When
cows
you
are getting
expect-
fat.
When you expecting a new edition?
I would say April or May. Yeah.
Keep us posted.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You just,
I just wanted to comment. Oh, I'm sorry. Just,
Go ahead,
I was just
Victoria.
gonna thank you for helping that resident in Adair, that tree removal. I
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
She appreciates it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll try to help.
You do good.
Thank you.
Ms. Tyner.
Bruce, do we still have hay for sale, or are we saving it back for our?
We still have hay for sale. We had a good crop. We will save some for the buffalo, but we still have hay for sale.
And is it still 10 bales and $25?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's for our
Our,
citizens?
yes, ma'am.
And they contact,
Realty, Ginger Brown, Ginger Reeves, is it Ginger Reeves? Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
you bet.
Yes.
Hey Bruce, I just want to thank you guys and your department for that hayride that you guys provided. There was 150 Native American kids out there at the Heritage Center, and you guys really made their night, so we really appreciate you.
Okay, glad we could help, Stick.
Thanks, sir.
You bet.
Any more questions for Mr. Davis? Yes.
What was I missed the TV, what time will be, what time?
10 o'clock tonight
10?
on Channel 6.
Channel 6.
Actually, also, if you miss it, you can go to Channel 6 news site, and they'll have it on there. They'll have it for replay on there. It'll be tonight after 10 o'clock. I think they put it on immediately.
Any more questions for Bruce? Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank
Your
you.
report.
Hey, Bruce, one more. When are we going to start the Heritage Center, ancient village?
The wall,
Yes.
Joe, I put in a request for the poles to be cut. So the Natural Resources Department, they're cutting the poles now. So when they get a trailer load cut, then they'll deliver them and your guys can put them up for the Heritage guys.
Yeah. For your council members, we came up with, I think, District 1, 2, 3, $5,000, and that's a start. Yeah, and I called Salt for what the Chickasaws were doing, and theirs, I think, ran about 12,000. So we may have to come up with a little bit more money, but I just wanted to get it started.
Sure. We're working on it, Joe.
Councilman Walkenstick.
Very, following with what Joe said, this and follow up on those poles.
Yes.
Some concerns are they might rot out after like 2 or 3 years. And so what the Chickasaws did, they used treated, what was the name of that fir? Some kind of fir, I forgot the name of the tree, but it's like a pine tree. And those are supposed to last a long time. But they use a lumber yard down south, and I think for a 16-foot pole, it was $20 a pole. It's at 6 inches wide, and I think that's how when you did your measurements, was it at 6 inches wide?
Yes.
600 posts.
Yeah, we
600
averaged
poles?
6 inches, yes.
Okay. And so that's where we came up with about $12,000 for all those poles. So we may have to get those treated poles up there, so we'll have sustainability for it to last longer.
Okay, we'll look into that, Stick.
Okay, thank you, Bruce.
All right, thank you.
Any more
Thank you,
questions?
Bruce.
Moving on down to real estate services. Ginger Brown. Oh, you shrink up a little bit, Ginger.
I'm not Ginger. My name's Janelle Perry, and I'll be filling in for Ginger Reeves today. I believe you've received her report. Did anyone have any questions for what she provided?
We have any questions for the young lady? Well, a good report.
Keep up the good work, Janelle.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on down to environmental programs, Mr. Tom Elkins.
Yes, sir.
Tom, right on time.
I think you all have our report, the first one of this fiscal year, and it doesn't look like we've done anything, but we have. We've started a few other things. Me and another person work in our, what we call our water resources group. I think there are 7 people in that from different parts of the Cherokee Nation, and we've been working with the water planning money that you've given us. We've written some grants for climate change.
Bruce. Couldn't hear Tom.
But some of the things that have been going on have just naturally fit within that group. So we've been doing a lot with that group internally. And then, we do most of the EPA type programs at the nation. And almost all those programs have annual reporting requirements on that. They used to have quarterly, but we finally gotten it down to where almost all of them are just annual. And so this last month, we've been tying up all those loose ends, those reports for the whole fiscal year. So I think everything's done real well. We've had some reviews from EPA that have said that we've got everything done that we've said that we were going to do. And we are working, all our staff have been prepped on doing the new regulations that we'll be working on with the money that you've been giving us from the carryover that we went through at ENF today. And so that looks like that's going to be our next big project this fiscal year. And it's really needed. The ones that we have now are really antiquated, and we've been needing that for years. And so we really appreciate that effort that you'll be giving us for that. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Any questions for Tom? Good report,
was
Tom.
almost as good as hers, wasn't it?
Good report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good job, Tom. Thank you.
Moving on down to old business, I see none, and move on down to new business. 14108, Frankie, would you take that, please?
Yes, this is a resolution authorizing transfer of trust land to Charles Stillwell in fee. And I believe Mr. Cooper's here and can answer questions on this.
That,
Thank you.
is that,
Ginger had called me today. Ginger and I have both been working on this. And she apologizes that she couldn't be here. She is very ill. Back in 1982, there was some an addition set aside over in Malloy Hollow, where some housing authority houses were built. There was a oddly shaped piece of property that sat between where the road B's or Y's are there, that contained just a little over an acre. It's 1.23 acres between it and where the lot line was for the house. At some point in time since 1982, the family has since paid off their home. They thought that they owned that adjoining property, let their family member move a trailer onto the property. At some point in time, I believe Water and Sanitation came along and put a septic system in for that family member on that piece of property. Lo and behold, we found out that they don't own the property, that property never was made part of this addition. So the individual who had the old Mutual Hope House built never got that piece of property. Ginger had asked us to look at what needed to be done, and we had got a survey for. It is a piece of property containing 1.23 acres that would fix this issue and correct this problem that occurred a number of years ago, and that no one caught for quite some time until here just recently. And that's what brings us here today. Ginger and I both worked on this issue because it was an issue that came up. Housing Authority originally built the house years ago. And a combination of both of our efforts, we found the problem, and we're just trying to right a wrong. And I would ask that, should you happen to approve it, that maybe we could move it to the full council.
Yes, Gary?
So just so my mind's clear, there was no other option but to do this?
I don't know that I would go that far.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you would have another option. That would be force the person off of that piece of property. I mean, that would be
That would
the
be the
other option.
alternative.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be the alternative, yeah. And I don't think that's what anyone wants to do, so I apologize.
helpful.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be, be the only alternative for that. It should have been caught, at some point in time, and a lot of folks over the years, no one ever caught it until just now. And so we're really trying to right a wrong. But yeah, I think the alternative would be, is for realty to follow,
Thank
enforce them all.
Very much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
the
welcome. Yeah.
candor and the answers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before you take a vote, I would like to add that this go to full council this evening.
Okay, once you get that, full council.
Councilor King.
Yes, Councilor Painter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The house itself is on the 1.23 acres plus a trailer, is that?
No,
or
it's, no.
separate?
It's
Adjacent?
It's adjacent. It adjoins that property. The house we built is on the lot that was part of that addition. The family thought that they had an extra piece of property adjoining their property.
And there's people residing on it?
Yeah, they're family members, which would be the gentleman listed on the resolution, Mr. Stillwell, Charles Stillwell, I believe. I don't want to tell you something that's not right, because there's two sisters that live in the addition. So one is, I believe the adjoining property is Mr. Stillwell's aunt, and then his mother had a lot, a couple of lots over, if that makes sense. But it's an oddly shaped piece of property, if you can see how it is here. And there's basically a county road that goes on each side. So it wides off, and basically it was a no man's land for most intents and purposes, and I think the family just thought that it was.
Pass that around?
You bet. If you want to, I'll pass around the old one that shows the actual addition, and then the piece of property that this survey is basically this piece right here, if that helps you.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, Councilor Garvin.
Oh, Garvin.
Councilman Garvin?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you sent a appraiser out, what do you think it appraised for?
I would hate to even venture a guess, because I don't know what someone would use it for, other than what Mr. Stillwell has used it for the past. I think that he's lived there for 10 or 12 years or longer. I honestly don't know. It's not a 1 acre square piece of property. It's a very oddly shaped piece of property, so I doubt that it would appraise for very much at all. Because I don't know who else would have a use for it.
I don't remember the exact law, but if you have a piece of property fenced for so many years,
Well, it's
first possession
it's tribal land, so it doesn't matter.
doesn't apply.
I defer to probably the speaker, but I don't believe so.
You're talking, Don, about adverse possession,
Yes.
but normally against us, it doesn't apply. It's a little thing that saves us every once in a while.
It's called sovereignty.
Had it, and Mr. Garvin, to go back to, had it been fee simple land, I would guess that you would probably be pretty, you could probably look back, and somewhere back behind you is when adverse possession timeframe would have taken hold. But since it is tribal land, it doesn't have any effect.
Thank you very much.
If that helps you out.
Yes, Councilman Buzzer?
Yes, this family has lived there for like 10 years, I guess,
Or longer.
or longer. But, I guess I'm not strictly opposed to this, but I'm opposed to giving up any of our trust lands, wherever it may be. I think maybe in lieu of this giving them the property, why not give them a 99-year lease on the property? That way it gives those family a time to do what they need to do, and 99 years from now, it's still gonna belong to the Cherokee Nation. So I don't know, I think that's something we need to think about, because we may be setting a precedent here today. You know, this may happen, we don't know where some of our trust lands, and somebody moves on it and puts a trailer and puts a septic tank in it, and come back and want the same thing. So I think this is a precedent that we may set, that we may want to regret years down the road. So I'm not so sure that I would favor of doing this today. I would be in favor of giving this family a long-term lease, such as a 99-year lease, on that property, but I think it's something as a council member, we need to protect our trust lands, although it may not be worth a lot, but land is land. So that's my feeling about it.
And just along the lines to tell you everything that I know about the property, the adjoining, I believe it's the adjoining lot, they had paid off the home, and it is not trust land. They had asked that it be, that it be transferred out. And I'm pretty sure that it's the next lot, but like I said, there's 2 family members who live there in that same addition, and I'd hate to tell you something that's wrong, but I do know that several of those, a couple of those lots over there are no longer in fee.
Councilman Garvin?
I have a question about the survey. Who requested it, who paid for it, and how much, and who did the survey?
The housing authority is the one who I think we paid for it. Housing authority paid for it. Because
It really wasn't our responsibility. Looked like the homeowner would at least put some money into it.
well, they came in they had applied for the new construction program. That's how we found it during our due diligence in processing the application.
Get this 1 acre, looked like it'd at least pay for the survey.
I mean,
How much was it anyway?
a survey, I couldn't tell you exactly what that survey cost, but I would say on average, usually an as-built runs about $700-800. I don't know. I don't want you to hold me to that, but I would say somewhere in that neighborhood for a surveyor to go out there and do his part. But I can tell you that, that's when we discovered the problem, was whenever we was doing our due diligence for this individual to get a new house. The adjoining houses there in that addition were houses that were previously constructed by the Housing Authority years ago.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You through with
yes, you.
Jerry, is it my understanding that this gentleman wants on the new housing program?
Yes.
And this is a way that you all found land to cover that site because the trailer is in a condemned status?
Yeah, that is it. Whenever he had, he's been living there. He has a trailer. He was, wanting a house built on that site, and that's when we found out that, hey, you don't own the property, and
You
it's
can't do a lease for the new
No.
housing program. It
No.
has to be fee simple property.
yes, yeah. And the thing about one of the reasons why he wanted it there is because he has a trailer there. So once we build a house there, we can tie into the existing utility, the water line, the existing sewer line, all that good stuff.
It puts him between his mother and his aunt, basically, along the
Yeah,
same line.
it puts him adjoining his family members, and they're getting older, and I think he wants to be there close to them to take care of them.
We actually did some of this type stuff on the old mutual help
Yes.
home program.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yes, Frankie?
I was gonna say the same thing, that he's wanting to build a home there, because he's lived in this trailer for many years. He has a child. He is an employee of the Cherokee Nation, has worked for us for several years.
And health.
And I encourage you all to vote for this, because, it was a mistake of the Housing Authority, and, they're trying to rectify it for him.
Yeah, and it was a mistake that several folks have made a mistake over the years on this particular one.
And like he said, it is an oddly shaped area. I've traveled that road several times, but there's no one else that would want that piece of land, I promise you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Mr. Chairman, I had
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, I mean, Harley's idea should be entertained. Is that not an option that we could potentially consider? I mean, if he's,
Not for a house.
Not on the 184 program.
That would be safe.
so they're not going through new construction, it is 184 privately through bank, okay?
No, it's going through new construction,
But the
but we
184
secure it, the new construction with the
We
184
have a
loan.
184 program, Kara.
But the 184, the federal law, because I've looked this up, it allows for trust property. It would allow for this, I would think.
Not in Oklahoma. And I'd have to, Linda's not here, I don't think now. She was here earlier, and she could answer that question for you specifically.
We can answer that.
Well, we can answer it right
Okay.
here. You're getting a loan on the property.
Mhm.
The lender will not entertain the idea of a mortgage approval situation.
Correct.
That goes back to what you keep passing from month to month. Yes, we can do mortgage approval, but only when you're not using a lender. If you're using a lender, they want to know that they're going to have a mortgage on land that they can repossess if you default on the loan. And I think that's the same opinion that was given out by, I believe, through Realty.
Yeah, I think so.
There's an opinion on that. I don't know if we want to address it now, but for him to go on the new housing program as it is set up now, he has to own the land in fee simple. It can't be under a lease. A lease is a good idea, Harley, because it is our land. And we have two options here. We can say no and move him off through an ejectment process. And if we were just the typical owner of land, that's exactly what we'd do. But we have a chance here to help an individual get into the new housing program and get out of condemned housing. Now our situation is, do we want to do it? Or do we want to keep this odd-shaped piece of land, move him off through an ejectment process, because we will win.
Mhm.
I believe we would prevail. So that's our options. We
Yeah.
either give him an attempt to get into new housing, or we tell Realty, file an ejectment process and move him and his trailer off of there. That's where we're at.
And Ginger's not here, and I'd hate to speak for her, but I think that, I think that her and I would both agree with that is, I don't think either one of us would ever brought this forward or even asked you to consider it if it wasn't for the fact, the facts as I told you. It is an oddly shaped piece of property, it's, so many things happen over the years that we're just trying to right a wrong.
You said it did have sewer already?
Yeah, there was a septic system put in by Water and Sanitation.
Already done that? Okay.
I believe Water and Sanitation put in the septic system.
And there's a
Years
right of
ago.
way into it?
Yes, yeah, it adjoins a county road. One county road crosses trust land, the other county road is not.
Marketability will not be in question if
No.
we complete this process.
That's right.
So there's all your hard questions right there for your new program. Do you
Yeah.
have access,
Yeah.
water, sewer, and is your property gonna be marketable?
Yeah, and the reason that I know we have access is because Ginger noticed a problem with the original survey we did, and we had to have the surveyor correct it because we actually took the property line, our surveyor took the property line on the, it would kind of be on the north side of the property to the center line of the existing county road, but that's on trust land, so we moved it back to the corner, or to the edge.
Like, Gary,
Yes.
does this guy own any land at all, or is that all our land? Okay.
To my knowledge, this is all he has.
Thank you.
I think we had looked at another piece of property that his family might own, but it was located in a flood zone.
Oh, Buzzer.
Okay.
Councilman Buzzer?
Yeah, and I'm not against, letting him have the property. I just think, and it's good, I think we can debate this on merits, and I think that we've done that today, and it sounds to me like this property is probably wouldn't be any use to the nation. I don't really see a problem with getting him the okay to do it. I just don't want to have another Cherokee family come up and live on trust land and come back with the same problem, so. And I think this is good that we can go in and let this guy have it because it's been discussed and I can see where it benefits an Indian family, and that's what we're trying to do here, is benefit our Indian family, but I just don't want to set a precedent of doing this unless they're good cause. And this sounds like a good cause for this family here. It doesn't seem like the land is worth a whole lot of dollars. But I kind of feel like Don, you know, that maybe you should be on some expense for the survey or something. But other than that, I'm not just adamantly opposed to it because I think we saw some merits and we are helping a Cherokee family. So I would go and support this one today.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't support, I'd be really hesitant to support any more of these requests that comes up in the past. I think we can look at them from individually when they come up, so I'll support it.
This time.
That was what I was gonna say, Harley. That's the good thing about each one of these has to come to the council and has to pass on its own merits. It may have validity this time, but it might not have validity next time.
Yeah.
And I know there's been cases in the past where we have turned these down, but there's also been cases in the past where we have approved them. It's, I just had one additional question, not in the flood zone, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Councilman Lay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And to your knowledge, Gary, are there more of these out there? I mean, I hear this stuff taking place more than once. There's more of these out there. I know there is.
Oh,
So
I'm sure there is.
we're gonna see a person coming through, and they're all gonna be good, on good merits.
Yeah.
But can we, if we take this out of trust, can we ask for trust somewhere else that we prefer to have?
I would have to defer that question to someone else over in realty.
Well,
I can't answer that. And I can tell you that, I mean, yeah, there are times where we do have this happen, you know. I mean, what we've seen happen before, I mean, 20, 30 years ago, I mean, it was nothing. We didn't have technology like we have today where we have, you know, GPS and things like that. I mean, we know whenever we go out and someone tells us, okay, we're going to put a house here, we record the reading and we you know, stake it and we record what the GPS coordinates are. Years ago, you didn't have that. You put a stake. Well, if the family didn't like it, they'd go back out at night and move it somewhere else.
but there's another stake on the next section line you can come back off of.
No. This was after all of that was done. You know.
But there are other ways to get a survey back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Just moving a stake may fool you and me.
Yeah.
Fool me, let's say,
Still
but it's not gonna fool a surveyor.
Yeah. I don't know for sure if I'd go that far because I've seen several surveys where, you know, we get to where property lines are about 25, 50 feet off because of they weren't. That's how far it was off before, because you know the marker was the rock under the oak tree or something like that.
And that's why you keep checking back to the next marker.
But we've had these issues come up on fee simple land where we can do a quiet title or something like that.
Anyway, so there's no way to trade this trust property and get it somewhere else like you can do today with restricted?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. I mean, I honestly would even hate to try because I don't know.
It's not his land. But we can give him this land.
Okay, you got a motion and a second.
Got a motion and a second. You ready to vote? All in favor of this?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'm going to abstain because I don't have all my questions answered.
Abstain, okay, one abstain. Well, the motion passes. Yes, Don?
I'm gonna abstain. I think they should have at least prayed for the survey.
Okay, we got two abstain and, yes, Kara?
And I abstain too.
Three abstain. And the rest is yes vote? Okay, the motion carries with red stand. We'll go with council tonight. Moving down to 14109. Dinah, would you take that, please?
Yes, sir. This is a resolution authorizing the Cherokee Nation's application for full membership into the Intertribal Agriculture Council and also appointing folks to vote on our behalf in that particular council situation. I'm told, I don't know who might want to answer any questions, GV and Bruce, I'm told it will cost about $600 for the yearly fee. Is that correct, GV?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we felt like it would be a good thing to do. Last time it was done was 2010, I think, when Charles Head, he was the active representative for the Cherokee Nation at that time. So it's been kind of dropped, and we picked it back up because it's dealing with agriculture issues and farming issues, and I think it'd be a good program to get back in for Cherokee Nation.
Yeah, I put that in the form of a motion. I'm sorry.
Motion second.
A motion and a second.
I would ask that it also go to council tonight.
Not good.
We might can bring you some snacks in.
Do we have any questions? Yes, ma'am. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on. Moving on down to announcements.
Got one here by Council.
Yes,
Garvin.
no.
It's been reported there's no birthdays this month, so you know what that means.
No pie, no cake.
We had enough pie, though.
I gotta find my birthday.
Yes, Council Lady June.
I just wanted to introduce our CallNet visitor to this month from the Cherokee At-Large Leadership Network. Brandon Caruso is here from Salagi, LA, which is our satellite organization in Los Angeles. So,
What was his name? What was his name, Judy?
Brandon Caruso,
Where's Brandon from?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
He's my neighbor.
Neighbor?
I bet he'd rather be in Los Angeles.
Okay, and then more announcements? Yes.
I'd like to thank, on behalf of the Region 8 Rodeo Association, as president, I want to say a big thank you to Cherokee Nation, especially the Tribal Council, for allowing travel money to be spent for the 23 that went out there and represented the Cherokee Nation at the INFR in South Point in Las Vegas, the 4th through the 8th, a couple of weeks ago, last week, and very successful, and we want to say a big thank you. It meant a lot to everybody. 30 representatives went out there, and we were 23 of them, the Cherokee Nation. So I want to say thank you.
Yes, Gary.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So that came out of the regional association from the money that was already donated or raised,
Yes.
or did we pay separately for that?
No, it came out of the funds, CME.
Okay.
The jackets and buckles were bought out of, and then they retained $15,000 for travel money.
Okay, people were asking questions, so now I can answer
So
with.
we divided that 15,000 up 23 ways. We didn't have one Osage to become a Cherokee whenever he had a cards. But thank you so much.
Motion.
I did this one. Am I right, the Latham, is it Latham boy 1 second, and the Teehee girl maybe 1 second?
Yeah, the little hall boy at J. Oklahoma, Delaware, he won the junior breakaway championship. He's the only one that won first. And then Layton, Jayden Layton, 1 second in the tie-down roping. And then Mick and Tars Foreman out of Oaks, they placed in the senior division the first round, and Jimmy Qualls and Joel Maker placed second in the second round, and it's my son Stuart 1 second in the first go round steer wrestling, and we had a lot of success. We had some barrel racers that hit barrels that kind of, that we had hopes to win 2 or 3 slots in the barrel race, and they hit barrels in the last go around. So
I think she still placed in.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
it was,
thought she placed second, but it could have been a little bit lower overall.
I think she might have won second. Yeah.
I followed you on the internet.
But anyway, it was a great rodeo, great opportunity for Cherokee Nation to shine well. And it's just gonna get bigger and better. And say thank you.
Dick can claim the calf roper, but I claim his dad, because his dad used to work at Harvard.
You guys stole him away from us.
Yeah, we stole him
That's what I
away,
heard.
but you all got him back.
Okay, the next meeting will be Monday, December 15th, 4 o'clock. Now, I hear a motion adjourned.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Well, let's get back to work.